episode 8 and 9 of 1,000 Year Blow War arc. Episode 8 being the Shooting Star Project, and episode 9 being the Drop. So as we play Brave Souls, we are going to also be talking about the last episodes that I watched. So like I said, this is going to be a series that we do going forward. Some videos will be playing actually Bleach, Brave Souls, or Rebirth Souls, whatever it may be. But we're just going to be talking about the episodes, so I thought, why not combine these both together for one video and make it more interesting that way. So let's figure out what we're going to actually do today on Brave Souls. I want to call it Rebirth Souls so bad, but Brave Souls. And then we'll get into what happened between the two episodes. Alright, so let's see. So I got the events done and everything like that. I say let's just go ahead and do this at this point. I know they probably want me to use Momo, which she has got the job done, so we'll just go ahead and use Momo for this, and we'll talk about everything else. We'll keep an eye on Momo as we do this. She beat it once before off camera, so I know she can beat it on camera. I'm not really worried about that. Alright, so episode 8, the Shooting Star Project. I'm just gonna kind of go through and give you my thoughts of what I thought about the episode, key points, and we're just gonna talk about it like that. So we had at a point in the episode, for episode 8, we had Isane and Retsu talking to each other, and Isane just showing her concern about not being able to leave the barracks because it was an order from Kinryu's side to not leave, and Unohana knew that what may have kind of happened leading up to this point, so they didn't leave. We kind of got a background of everybody from the court guard squad being heard, just kind of being taken care of by squad group 4 and just being healed and patched up and everything like that. We got to see Kaku, we got to see Rukia and Renji being patched up and everything like that. We got to see Ichigo and Shinji, Hanataru. We got to see everybody be talked about. It was nice to see everybody kind of gathered together. I know it was for a bad point in time for why it happened, but it was nice seeing them all gathered together, and I loved that aspect about it. So we got to see to a point to where they recovered Yamamoto's Zanpakuto broken up into pieces. We didn't get to actually see because they didn't recover his body, so everybody is kind of on edge because they weren't able to recover his body and everything like that sorts. And we know how that kind of is. It's such a hard thing, and once again, all this stuff that we have here, we're definitely going to use these things later on. We're just trying to rack them up right now. Once we rack them up, then we'll use them in the future. But I'm just trying to get as many of those as possible. Let's go ahead and use some more soul tickets. I don't really care about burning through the soul tickets at all, because like I said, I play this game, I want to make sure the soul tickets are going to use. But yeah, so everybody is in a room kind of drawn to and kind of broken down because Yamamoto's Zanpakuto was the only thing that was left over, and that could be a lot because he was the head captain for so long, and now without his guidance and his leadership, now everybody is kind of at a standstill because they did not anticipate the Serate and the Soul Society being broken down like it was at this point. So now it is at a pivotal point to where everybody is trying to regain their thoughts and their composure at this point in time, because such a big point has came. I don't think that the 13 court guard squad has suffered or went against something as serious as this is on such a short notice, and this is way above what everybody has gone through. Like, I said once before, Yamamoto's old 13 Core Guard squad was more fierce and ferocious and demonic and everything that you could think of. This one was more, the second 13 Core Guard squad, the Gote 13, was more toned down and more mellowed out and had a more specialty between all the divisions. So it wasn't what it was before. Same thing with him. We have Shinsui being the leader that he is, comes in and he discusses with everybody else that where we're gonna go and what it's gonna be led to at this point going forward, of why and what to expect. So at a point in the episode, Ichigo's Zanpakuto Tetsu Sanketsu is destroyed and, as you know, cannot be repaired. It is not that easy. Mayori tells Ichigo this, and Ichigo is concerned and worried and asking, why can it be repaired? Don't you repair your Zanpakuto? And the thing with Mayori is that he does not repair his Zanpakuto. He alters his Zanpakuto, so he makes it turn to different forms and everything of that nature. He has never repaired his Zanpakuto, so that is something that is out of their hands. Not can anyone, no one can repair their Zanpakuto. In the way that he explained it, the only way to necessarily kind of do that is to imbue your Zanpakuto with Reishi and some of your spiritual pressure. But that within itself is a hard task to do. So I don't think that you can necessarily even do something like that. Now let's go back to White Ichigo. White Ichigo was nice. I brought him back to the team for just this purpose, intentionally, because he's gonna rip through everything that's going on. I mean, he's gonna rip through all this stuff. Freaking rip through it. Okay, so level 8. White, just go ahead and do his thing. As everybody gathers outside, they are gathered and welcomed by the royal guard that protect the Soul Palace. As the build-up is talked about, Shinsui makes it sound like these are ferocious 5 warriors that are unstoppable in some of the most serious of serious. As we get a look at them, we got to see Ichibe, Nimaya, Senjumaru, Karachi, and Hakafune. They all come out as they greet and introduce themselves once again. We get a breakdown and we get to see their personalities, which shine on screen, because in the manga we got a bit of us to see them, but it wasn't shown like how I seen it in this, and I was glad to see them shine in the way that they did. It was such a dope thing to see. Special move points to upgrade the special move or resurrect the characters. Yeah, that hasn't really sparked my interest, so we'll just skip that for now. Let's go look at power up quests. Okay. I say let's go ahead and just get these orbs. So we have Shinji being Hikafune, being the former captain of the 12th Division, seeing her again and greeting her, as well as Kenjiro confronts Unohana and just tells her about the loss that they suffered, and that she knows deep down inside of what she did, and that she can't heal and even do what he does, which also So him throwing that shot at her, but not making it clear why he's saying that, is such a crazy foreshadowing point. But that is something at the time a lot of people don't know. I start to even wonder myself. And of course, we're gonna hear from Soy Phone, give her input, and as you see, Kenjiro actually soul step right behind Soy Phone and pin her arm up is foretelling, because the fact that he is able to use his ho-ho to get behind her faster than she is, because you have to think, Shunsui is the fastest captain out of the whole Gote 13, and for him to just pin her like that just shows how elite Squad Zero actually is. It's not something that you can overlook. Ichigo questioned as well, why didn't they come out to help? But it was broken down to him by Shunsui that when the walls came down, when they first came in to rescue Rukia, when the walls came in for them to rescue Rukia, it did come down. It protected the part that Squad Zero was supposed to protect, and not the part that the Gote 13 and the captains were supposed to protect. Everything else was supposed to be left to them. I hope I've even maxed out the Coyote start. I have not. I don't want to use that then. Gotta be careful with that. Let's see, right here. Okay, so yeah, we have to go back and we have to get more. Okay. Okay. Senjumaru go ahead and grabs Rukia, Renji, Miyagi, and Tensu Saimon. Tensu Sagetsu, and is looking to get Ichigo, because everybody's abilities that have been hurt, Rukia, Renji, Miyagi, and Ichigo, and his Zanpakuto can only be repaired in the Soul Palace, where the Soul King is. Nothing more can be done there. Then they get interrupted by Kisuke, and Kisuke just checks in and tells them that everything's going on. As you can see in the background as they're talking, and we get a welcome hurrah moment, seeing Orihime and Chad. We hear Grimjow in the back, which is really obviously concerning, because all we know of is Grimjow having that feud with Ichigo, but them actually stopping that at some point. And it goes on to just show that at some point we're gonna see that they made an alliance. They're still in Waco Mundo, I'm pretty sure, but they made an alliance. I guess his alliance, what I want to assume, if I can remember, that his alliance was based off of the fact that once this all gets settled, if Grimjow that they're gonna be able to fight at some point, I'm assuming. We got to look again. We got to see Kakaku, Shiba, Taho actually just kind of blast them off again. It's always nice to see them. We got to see Ganju as well, which is nice. And then a key point that was explained to us. We'll let the ad run, who cares? But it was just like Ichibe explained that the Oken is a part of their bones. When you got selected into the Royal Guard squad, the Oken is into your bones. Sosuke Aizen was trying to make a replica to be able to copy the Royal Guard members, to be able to get in there the fraud way, members of the Royal Guard Squad, and each one has an island that is surrounded by the Soul King's palace. Kenjaku is going to launch him to his one, which is able to for him to soak in a hot spring that will be able to heal them. So everybody has a specialty in everything that is going on. I wanted to go ahead and let this ad play and try to get the extra because we can't go wrong with the actual rewards right here. We need these, seriously. So now that we have these rewards, it's going to be really good for us. So let us go ahead, and I think at this point we'll go ahead and run it again. We're not going to do the double or anything like that. We're just going to go ahead and burn through the tickets right now and just let that go past. So in this one, we have, like I just explained, going Byakuya in the blood pond for it sucks out all the bad spiritual energy and everything, and then puts him back into the blood pond to be able to get all of his healing back. So you went from the white bone hill to the blood pond, and everything like that has helped. There is a point too where it's super interesting where Renji and Ichigo were in those ponds, and they were able to be in there without any suits or anything, and it didn't mess up their skin. But the guards that were also in there to try to keep them underneath the water with Ichigo and everything like that, when they took their suits off, their suits exploded and it was too much for them, which just goes to attest to show how strong Renji and Ichigo, especially Ichigo's potential, it truly is. With Ichigo being actually having hollow powers, being a Soul Reaper, and also being a Quincy, just so much being in his favor, as well as the Soul King awakens, which makes him interested in the fact of Ichigo being there. So it's not going to be interesting to see what the dynamic will be with the Soul King and how he may feel an effect from Ichigo or anything like that. But Renji and Ichigo are sent off to the next island to be taken care of, and that was pretty much everything that had happened. Yeah, they were going to be sent out to Hakafune's island at this next point. So it's going to be Renji, Ichigo, and Gon sent over there, but that's pretty much everything that has happened for episode 8 of 1000 Year Blood War, the Shooting Star Project. That were some of the points to me that was super interesting, so I wanted to go back and talk to him. I like those facts that was going on, and like I said, everything is escalating a lot more quicker than I expected it to, compared to how like it was when it came to actually in the manga. Everything's a little bit more accelerated, which I like that. I don't think that they should hold back anything. I think you should go ahead and feed the people what they want to see, and I think that's what I agree with. There's nothing dull about each moment, and I like it a lot. The pacing is great. Everything is amazing, and I couldn't ask for more myself. So, let me go ahead and actually feed this into this Rukia. I almost forgot about her. So, let's go ahead and feed this into the Rukia. Unlock slot 3. If I can purple her out, that would be dope to be able to purple her. But this next slot, I think I'm going to go with, of course, defenses was suggested. Let's take a look here. Do I really care about defense that much? That's the thing. Not gonna really do defense. Focus is already there. So pressure is either so pressure or stamina for me. I think I'm gonna go stamina, of course. Who cares? I'll just do that. I just kind of prefer that at this point. We will go back and upgrade that later. Actually, that might be a little bit better for me. I like that unit a lot. Why even just sit there, and I can always upgrade the orbs off the screen just to get those together anyway. So we can get up to level 5 for this, which we will do that now. We can get up to level 5. Let's see if we can get up to here. let's look for the character that we just did. I kind of even forgot who it was, if I'm being completely honest with you. Wow, Bleach goes too. We definitely need to take care of him. Let's see. What can we do for him? Actually, I hate like having random units. I think we may have to attend to him right now, because if we don't attend to him, he'll never get attended to. I didn't even know he was there. That's the thing. But let's go, and now let's talk about episode 9 of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, The Drop. This episode had a lot more in it that was really super interesting to me, that I was actually glad to see on screen. Mind you, I did read this series and everything like that, but this is my first time watching it and actually coming back around to seeing what's going on. So alright, let's go ahead and take care of this. So let's get some more tickets. I think we'll grab 2 stacks more. Let's do that, and then we'll go ahead and run into it. Dang, we have to get rid of some. Okay, so what we're gonna have to go and do is let's go back to the 5 stars. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, let's take care of this Shinji real quick, and then we'll get into episode 9. We gotta burn through some of these, get these people. Okay. Kyoto already is taken care of. Let's go back to this Shinji. Let's see. Right. So we start off that episode by Nanao knocking on the door and not getting an answer from Shinsui. Way more than I thought I was gonna need. Way more. Only 5 for 5 orbs is actually insane. That's not doing anything for anybody, yo, at all. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other characters that may need something or slightly over. The Okioda needs to be fed into something else. The love needs to be fed into something else. Is there anybody else that needs to be taken care of? Let's resurrect somebody and see. We may need to resurrect a person. Oh wow. Rukia and everybody. Rukia can resurrect. That'd probably be nice for her. But you can't even try it. Probably won't know the original 6-star, but this might be nice for this Rukia to be resurrected. I like her a lot, so we're gonna let her get resurrected. Maybe this will make her a lot better. But yeah, Nanao came in, and Shinsui is being promoted to Captain Commander of the 1st Division, and not anymore the 8th Division with Nanao. So this is gonna be a swing, because now instead of listening to Yamamoto's word, we are now going to be concerned, and now we are going to be listening to Shinsui's word, which Shinsui has always been not as thoughtful as Yamamoto, in a way where he is not going to do things for righteousness, but do things for meaningful and that are going to prolong things in the future. That has always been something that he has always put and tipped his hat on. Okay, so now that we have that, now we have to go and upgrade that Rukia. So now so go ahead and do that. But like I mentioned once before, as Tenjiro is going to punch Ichigo, Ichigo blocks it, and later on, as we'll see, Tenjiro's hand is messed up, and that is because Ichigo caught him off guard. He did not expect that from Ichigo. Ichigo has surpassed every thought that he has possibly brought to him, and has been something that he knew that people were enamored with Ichigo and how great his potential was. But the fact now of him being able to do those things has caught him off guard, and he really doesn't know what to even say about that at this point. Let's see what we can do with this. Let me go to power up. See what we can do for Rukia here. But Renji now awakens. Like I mentioned before, I said that this was supposed to be in the last episode, but not necessarily in the last episode, but in this episode, Renji has now shown himself. I gotta get to Cone to get leveled up. I love my Rukia unit, so let's do that. Like I mentioned once before, that their bodies have been scarred up by the water, and how they couldn't handle the intensity, but Renji and Ichigo extremely blow past the intensity, and it was nothing for them at all. Karanjiri has his hand in the water and everything, healing it up. Shisui now in Central 46. Now with his first request, he mentions he wants 2 lieutenants for his 1st division, saying that he wants his original Lieutenant Nanao, but also he wants the 1st division Lieutenant Kenshiro to also be appointed as well. Only reason because he feels thinks that he deserves a spot, but as well as he knows Nanao has always been underneath his wing, so he demands that Nanao also stays underneath him, and he has two. So at first they didn't want to grant his wishes, Central 46 being, which a feeling I've always got from them always being super scared and never wanting to do anything was always a bad idea and bad feeling. They just don't want to grant things, and I think that they're definitely on edge because they only wanted to grant Yamamoto's wishes. But the first wish that Shinsuke grants, it says that he wants, is that he wants to teach Sanjutsu to Kenpachi Zaraki. The Central 46 is not a fan of this idea at all because they know how unequipped Kenpachi is and how much of how bad he can wreck things. But Shinsuke knows that this idea is a must and it must happen, because if it does not happen, anything can be up in the air, and that they cannot recommend and rely. That they cannot recommend and they can't rely on the fact that Ichigo and everybody else will be back. You do never know how long it will take, and they can't rely on Aizen. So he thinks that their trump card, being Kenpachi Zaraki, needs to be taken care of, and there's only one person that can get Kenpachi to that point, and that be Yachiro Unohana, the first Kenpachi instead of Retsu Unohana. To not confuse you, Retsu Unohana is the 4th division captain, but Yachiro Unohana is the first Kenpachi. If you know anything about the Kenpachis, Kenpachi is basically a bloodthirsty monster. Kenpachi of the Zaraki is now the new Kenpachi that you know of, the bloodthirsty monster that loves battle and fight and thrives for it. It's Kenpachi. Yachiro was once before. Reason why she wears her hair in the front is because she got stabbed and she got into a fight with Kenpachi as a child, and she knew that this day would come. But that's later on in the episode that they would discuss that. A weird point in this episode, which is kind of funny, we got to see Buff Cone. I don't think that I ever recall a point where we seen Buff Cone at all. I don't think that I can ever recall that point. But to see him was actually pretty cool. Like I said, I don't think I can ever recall that, but such a different moment there. I like how they're just kind of giving everybody enough screen time to enjoy themselves. By the way, these cutscenes of the Shadow Raid, Shadow Legends, I'm just talking, so y'all just sit back and enjoy. I usually cut it out, but I'm only gonna cut out the explosives and all the crazy big noises because I want to just be able to talk and let y'all enjoy it. Otherwise, I feel like it'll be just too many cuts, and that takes away from the video. Where Hakafune has prepared a large dinner for Ichigo and Renji, just so that can help heal him up. She has healing abilities cooked into her food, which has always helped. So 91 out of 150. We probably have to go and do some work on power up. So yeah, Ichigo and Renji eating the food and everything to fill their stomachs up and everything. Ichigo is kind of conflicted, not understanding what the Soul Palace has in order and how they go about their things. He's kind of thinking, should I really be sitting here eating this food? I should be training, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, but it's one thing at a time. And Renji lets Ichigo know that, hey, we are training. This is a part of everything. Let's follow the course and stay the course. We're here for an exact reason. As you don't know, Hakafune then now interrupts them and tells them to eat more as she reveals her slimmed down form and explains the food to him. Most people think she's a catfish. Hakafune, after she loses the weight, and actually until she puts the food back on, is a total babe and everything of that nature. specific reason, but also stay the course and understand as they go through this, things are going to get tough and they're going to be troublesome. So stay patient and trust in the higher ups that they will get you to where they need to. Now Ichigo and Renji have their Ryatsu restored thanks to the food. They thank Akafune and they go on about their way. As you see in this episode, now we get to a point to where Zaragi is sent down in the depths of the Mugen to now be confronted by Unohana. Unohana, as this is one of my favorite parts, confronts him and gives him the look of despair, showing her in her Kenpachi, Yajudo Kenpachi form, and the battle between these two is amongst us and begins. She goes and tells Kenpachi that the sound of his voice has always made the scar on her chest hurt because he's the one that's given it. As they go through the battle and clash, and it starts to become to the realization that one of these two will die, one of these two will not survive. This is the reason she is here to get the full out of Kenpachi in a battle to the death, as well as she's here to accompany him and show him what a true Kenpachi actually is. The intensity is on, the intensity is in the air, and it is not as easy as she thought it was going to be. Kenpachi kicks her in her arm and steps on her Zanpakuto toe as the fight, just dirty tactics and tricks as everything go, as they chop each other down and they hit each other. It starts to get serious. She starts to pin him against the wall and the fight starts to go on and ramp up. She stabs him through the throat. And as that goes on, she reveals to him that he will not die, but as the battle just now begins, the battle is not done just yet, but us seeing Retsu Unohana in this form just goes to show you what the old Court Guard squad really was made of. It is not the old team that you thought it was. It's something totally, completely different at this point in time. And this is one of the highlights for me. This is what really sealed the 1,000-year blood war for me. I loved every aspect of it. It just struck a chord for me because as a person that loved Bleach and you not knowing that Retsu Unohana was Yachiru Unohana, the original Kenpachi, is a crazy feat. And this is a part that I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch again just for this part because I cannot wait until she's in Rebirth Souls. I'm going to main the hell out of this character. I love her dynamic because she just seemed like a sweet, kind-hearted person that got away with something, and she just could do no wrong. And the entire time she has always done wrong. I love that aspect about it, and I can't wait until I get into the next episode 10, and that I get a little bit more of a glimpse into her. Unfortunately, knowing what's gonna happen to her, I won't spoil that, but we will talk about it in the next episode. While we're here, running out of tickets, it's already super late at night. We're going to just do our free pull here, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get out of here. So let's see if we get anything interesting with this free pull today. 2 butterflies, 3 butterflies. Wow, fake out please. Alrighty, yesterday's pull was not great, so today I know we're gonna get something interesting. Let's kick off the new year with something. Hey, I don't think I have that Ichigo, by the way. You should be making some strong remarks that make you look weak. I said 4-star. Yes, see, I did not have the Ichigo, so that is more orbs. We will get those orbs off screen. But I just wanted to go ahead and, as well as, like I said, change it up for today's episode. I wanted to talk I watched, as well as play some Bleach, Brave Souls. I keep wanting to say Rebirth Souls. We'll play Rebirth Souls very soon, and maybe talk about a couple of episodes. But this is something I want to make a series until I finish this through and kind of give you my thoughts. Like I said, if you want to see this evolved around another series, just anything in general, let me know. I'll definitely break it down and talk about it while we play some games or while I just ramble and tap on some things. But thank y'all for getting to the end of this video. It's been your man to comments does ASMR, and that has been my thoughts and my reactions to episode 8 and 9 of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War while we play Bleach Brave Souls. If you enjoyed it, please check out the Discord link down below to be informed, and maybe we can talk about some stuff on there, as well as please think about like, comment, subscribing, and check out other videos on the screen. YouTube has a recommended